I'll start off with a quick anecdote, because as a consultant, I often get the question, what does your name... Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining this webinar on workflows. And I'll start off this webinar with a quick anecdote about our company. I often get the question, what does Opus mean? Opus means work in Latin. And actually, the name OpusFlow means workflow. And workflows is something central to our system. So I'm very excited to hold this webinar on workflows and tell you all about it, how we can implement your personal workflow into our system. Many of you will be somewhat familiar with our system and know that we can configure it completely to your wishes, to the way that you work. But also what we see is that we talk to a lot of clients and we see that there is definitely a specific structure that we recommend, and it's a preferred workflow that we as OpusFlow would recommend to the starting installer. And I'll tell you all about it today. Right now we're on the home screen of OpusFlow. And we'll quickly exit this and go deep into our system. Go to Settings, Projects, and Statuses. And what we're going to see here is our configuration of the system. So this is the heart of OpusFlow. This is where you define the way that you're going to work with our system. So here you see our recommended workflow, where we start off with a new lead. A new lead will be automatically imported from your website, from your marketing campaigns, your lead generation partners, or anyone else. So we can fully integrate this with other systems. Then we're going to the phase of following up on the leads. So we're kicking off the sales process. We often see that after this, our clients plan in an inspection visit to see the site, to see what the situation looks like, and get some client contact before going to the quotation stage, which follows after. So after you're done visiting or inspecting the place, you go and create your quotation, you send it out, and it can be either accepted or rejected through our customer portal. After which the sales process finishes and we transfer the ownership of the project to our project management partners. So we kick off the project management phase with work preparation. Afterwards, we can schedule and plan the project. And we finish off with a delivered project. So this is something that we often see, and I'll quickly show you what it looks like throughout our system. So we go to projects. Projects is a module central to OpusFlow. So the whole system is built around a project. Each new lead is automatically also a new project within our system, and the project page is what collects all the information about about the projects that you're doing. So it collects all the tickets, all the client communication, the planning activities, all the documents, pictures, forms, quotations, invoices. Everything is collected on the project page. What you're looking at right now is our Kanban overview. And here we see the same process that we just looked at through the system. So again, the new lead follow-up, inspection scheduled, etc. So what we see is a pipeline overview of all the steps that a project goes through within your organization. What this also does is, as a manager, it allows you to see where all the projects are concentrated. So what we see right now is that we have a lot of new leads, and only 5 of them are being followed up. So as a manager, you quickly see that this is something that deserves attention. In the same way, right now you can see we have 3 delivered projects, and 1 is still stuck in work preparation, and none are being scheduled. So you see that here we have a bit of a vacuum, while the sales pipeline seems to be filled pretty nicely. So it allows you to see what's going on within your company. So let's start off by creating a new project. We'll call up our friend John Doe. And let's say we send it out to johndoe@email.com. And we're gonna import a heat pump lead, and we generate this new lead. So what this does, it takes us to our project page. Here you see the same modules as you see on the left side, but then this is zoomed in onto the specific project. So what we can do now is we can assign this new lead to one of our account managers. In this case, we're going to pick Scarlett. And what this does is not only is Scarlett notified that a new lead has been assigned to her, and it will appear in her project page, it also puts the project to a new phase, lead follow-up, and it generates a ticket for Scarlett. So in this ticket, this gives Scarlett, in this case, a bigger dimension to go through the lead follow-up phase. So what we see is that following up on leads is not always easy, and sometimes multiple call attempts are necessary to convert the lead. So what we do through a ticket is we track all this progress. You can see more about this in our ticket webinar, but I'll quickly show you what it can look like. Say that I made my first call attempt and want to update the status to call attempt 2. The ticket will keep track of that for me, and then I'll stay assigned to this ticket and can always go back to this one. What I could also do is say I tried calling the client again, and this time I want to send out an automated email to the client, notifying the client that we tried calling multiple times, and that we'll keep on trying. So this, as an account manager, it allows you to quickly go through your lead follow-ups. So you call, and there's no need to send out all these emails, and you can quickly log all your attempts. Also say that the lead is not interested. You could log this, and the project will automatically be updated to cancel, or you could close this ticket and say that you have scheduled an inspection visit. So what we're going to do right now is we have followed up on our lead, and we're going to plan in an inspection. So we do this through the planner. And let's say that our friend John is able to receive us at 2. So I'm going to plan in an inspection on myself, and this will show up in my calendar. So you see here, we're going to our friend John in Deventer, add 2. Also, if we open the project from here, you'll see that the system keeps track of all the progress, and it tells us that the inspection has been scheduled. We could go and do the inspection, finish this off. And again, it will take us to the next step. So that's basically the idea of our workflow. We could now come back from our inspection visit, go sit down at our desk, and go through all our projects that tell us to create a quotation. Let's say this client wants a Blackbird heat pump. We'll quickly generate a quotation. And send this out to our friend John. What we're doing right now is we're inviting him to see the quotation through our customer portal. So again, system keeps track of all the progress, and it tells us that the quotation is sent. What this also does is it generates a new ticket for the quotation follow-up. Again, this is a similar process to the lead follow-ups. Here we can keep track of how we're following up on the quote. We also could send out reminders to your clients. So say that the client hasn't responded to you for 3 days, we could automatically notify them about the quotation again. So in this case, again, we're going to assume that everything goes smoothly, and the client accepts our quotation. And you see the system again, it keeps track of your progress. So in a similar sense, we could go through the work preparation steps, the planning of your project, and the delivery. But the idea of this is that we're making a as clear as possible workflow. Again, it's only about 10 steps from end to end. So from new lead to delivery, everything can be tracked within these statuses. So we see that sometimes clients prefer to have all these call attempts within the Kanban dashboard. This might be very handy to, like, say we want to update the status of a project to our call attempt, but it also provides clutter. And in this sense, we really recommend you to think critically about every status that you have. Is there an action connected to the status? Is it necessary? And can I not combine multiple actions within one status? So in the same way that we've done with lead follow-ups. So this is something we really recommend you to think about and to think about critically. So we've been showing you this workflow from the Kanban dashboard. You might have multiple people working on a project. So say you have your sales team that only wants to focus on the sales bit. For this, we recommend you to provide some more overview by implementing filters. So you could say that for you as a sales rep, you're only interested in, say, the phases of new lead follow-up, inspection, and maybe like quotation follow-ups, right? So these bits is what you want to focus on, and the rest is less important for you. So in this case, what you could do is save this overview. Say my overview. And make this your favorite. So anytime you're going to the projects page, it will show you only the parts that you want to look into. Same can be done for your project managers or your financial teams, etc., etc. But I can also imagine that as a manager, what you're interested in is seeing the greater picture. For this, we really recommend you to use the list overview. So what the list overview does, it shows you the data in a bigger data grid. And here again, you can make the same filters. So say that as a manager, you want to see what's going on roughly within my organization. So I have 7 projects within my sales pipeline. I want to see what manager is working on these projects, what is the contact name, and what phase is it in, right? Then again, maybe you want to look at ongoing projects. Here you really want to see what are we installing and where are we and where is this project located. So you can have these different overviews, and you could do this by creating these filter templates. This is something we recommend you to implement for everyone within your team, and really think about what is the responsibility of your team member. What does he need to focus on? Which statuses apply to them? What information is relevant for this person? So look at this and think about this critically again. Then maybe if we go back to our overview, I might go through a few questions that may pop up. Here you see us recommend to schedule an inspection first and then send a quotation. A question that I often get is, what if I want to do the reverse? I say that you always send out a quotation first. What we could do here is quickly go to settings, projects, and you see that we have ordered all of these statuses. So we've made a specific workflow within the system. We can always adjust the order. So if you're always first sending a quotation and only after the acceptance you go and go on site for the visit, of course we could adjust this workflow for you. We could also implement a smart workflow. So say that sometimes you go immediately and look at the for an inspection visit, and sometimes you just send a quotation and you want the system to keep track of that. This is also possible. So what we could do through OpusFlow is build up a smart system that really takes you through all of these options, and make the system so that it really works for you. Usually when we do an onboarding, so when you become client of ours, what we're going to do is sit down with you and sketch out all of these scenarios. So we're going to look at the way that you work right now, what statuses could accompany this, but also what deviations are possible. And what we're doing in these moments is really looking at the way that you work and see how we can mirror that through our system. Also, what we're doing is sharing our knowledge from the industry. So what are the best practices? How do other clients work? What are optimal ways to work with OpusFlow? And usually this comes down to this exact setup. So yeah, this really is something that we do recommend. Let's see. We go back to our forms again. Let's see if we can look at the questions. Do I have to use tickets for a lead follow-up? No, this is not necessary. So, as I said, tickets is something that can really help you to keep track of stuff. So you can go to our ticket module, and here you see an overview of all the tickets within our organization. 35 at this moment, but say we want to look at only the lead follow-up tickets. So this filters out these tickets. And not, let's say we're going to look at yesterday. So which tickets are overdue? And you see, okay, we forgot to follow up on John Smith and on Misha Vogel. So the benefit of tickets is that it tells you which actions are should you do right now, and it helps you to keep track of all these call attempts of yours. But this is not necessary. We could skip this altogether, and maybe what works best for you is just to have this lead follow-up phase, and then you just know that I have to follow up on this lead. So it's an optional thing. It can really help you, but it's also dependent on the way that your organization is set up, how you communicate amongst each other, and also how well do you keep track of tickets, right? So tickets can be very handy, but you need to really keep track of all these attempts. So OpusFlow is a versatile system, and we can really mimic the way that you work. But no, nothing that we are showing you right now will strangle you to a fixed workflow. It will recommend you the next step, but it always allows you to deviate from there. Why do we use status quotation accept? Oh yeah, this one is interesting. Remove our filter. Right. So what you see here is we have two steps. So our client can accept your quotation. And in this case, the project automatically goes to the phase of quotation accepted. As I said, every status needs to have a specific action connected to this. So you could say, maybe once my quotation is accepted, I just want it to automatically go to work preparation, where I can do all my work prep. So I can order my materials, look online, contact the client, make my sketches, etc. But it could also be that quotation accepted is your final step in the sales process, right? So as your sales representative has made the deal, the quotation has been accepted, and now the final responsibility of your sales representative is to transfer this ownership to your project manager. So say you have a weekly meeting on Monday where the your work preparation employee gets transferred all these projects from your sales team. It could be a good way of going over the filled in forms, all the information that is available about the project, and it also allows your work preparation team to maybe ask for more from the sales. So what this does is it allows you to do this SNOP transfer, if you will. If you have a more streamlined workflow, of course, we could get rid of this step altogether. And the same could be said for any other bit. So what I would recommend for you to do right now is go to all your statuses that you have in your system right now, and for each and every status, ask yourself the question, why is this status here? What does it tell me? What action is connected to this? And if you can't answer this question, it might be good to think about if this status is really necessary. We, yeah, as a rule of thumb, I would say every status needs to have a clear action connected to this, and this this action should be connected to a specific person that is responsible for this. In this way, you could build up your organization in such a way that nothing is left behind. Every project is followed up on time, and everyone knows what they're responsible for. If this is not the case and you have these statuses where, say, all your accepted quotations land in here, and then every time you manually transfer them to work preparation, yes, then maybe you should remove this step altogether. And I think this brings me to the end of this webinar. Let me see if there's any other questions. Doesn't seem that way. I'll give you a few seconds to send in any questions if they are there. And if not, I'm gonna start wrapping it up. To close this off, today we went through the recommended workflow in OpusFlow. Your workflow, you could find this under settings, projects, and statuses. Here you can define every step within your workflow. You could change the order, maybe add steps, maybe remove them. Think critically about this part. Here you see the workflow that we have developed based on all the client contact that we had. This is really something that we recommend. But if you have any other questions about this, or you see you look at your workflow and see big differences and you want to talk about this with us, see what recommendations we can make, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always willing to help, to think with you about any possible ways to optimize this for you. Also, I would really recommend you to look at our previous webinars. Off the top of my head, the previous one was by Simon on tickets. Very interesting to look at. And please also follow our LinkedIn. You see a lot of updates that are being released, and also look at our YouTube channel. We have a lot of different videos for different modules and more to come. So we're producing a lot of content, and maybe you could find something interesting here. And if you ever feel like for a chat, you want to talk to us about your workflow, about specific parts that you want to automate. Maybe you want the system to generate invoices or down payments at a specific moment. Maybe you want to generate automated tickets, or you want to send out emails at a certain stage. All of this could be implemented within your workflow, and we're always willing to help you with that. And if not, any other questions, then we'll wrap up this webinar for now. I thank you sincerely for joining in, and also the people watching this on YouTube. Please feel free to write down your comments, and we'll make sure to get back to you. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach us through our phone number. or send us an email through our website. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next webinar.